How did your week go? Stay tuned to see how mine went. Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me. This is week 2 of my weight loss journey for 2022, and I did pretty well this week. I did lose almost 2 pounds, which for me is very good, even on a week 1 loss. I know some people will lose a ton of weight in that first week. I'm not one of those people typically, so almost 2 pounds for me is amazing. I don't expect that to continue, although that would be wonderful if it did, but I don't actually expect that. I would love if I averaged, a pound and a half over the course of this whole, weight loss journey, but I'll take what I can get as long as it's moving in the right direction. I did pretty well as far as hitting those goals that I set up. So again, as a reminder, that was drinking 64 ounces of water every single day, even with add-ins allowed. Walking 4,000 steps or taking 4,000 steps every single day, and staying within 14 to 1,600 calories every single day. And again, I allowed myself to kind of average that over the week. So I did hit that average over the week. But any day that I hit each of those goals, I gave myself a sticker on my calendar and that's working. I know that's so stupid, but it's such a great reward. I apparently am a child. I don't know, but it's working. And I got 5 stars this week out of 7, which is great. That's good for consistency. And if I did that throughout the whole year, I would see some big results. So that's what I'm going to keep aiming at, is just day by day, taking it, one meal at a time and one goal at a time. So I did pretty well this week, and I feel pretty good. I didn't feel deprived. I didn't feel overly hungry. I had one hungry day this week. So that was a day I didn't get a sticker because I did go over 1,600, but I didn't go crazy. I just had a little bit extra and was able to, feel good and not feel deprived. So overall, I did pretty well this week. One thing I want to do is talk about if I learned anything this week. And so that'll be something that anytime I kind of learn something about myself, or, I can kind of parlay that into, maybe learning about new products. Some of you guys shared with me some of your favorite products, which I super appreciate. That was amazing. So I plan on, trying those over the next few weeks and incorporating some of those too. But as far as this week, what I learned about myself was really my water goal. I thought was going to be the hardest thing. And that was actually much easier than the walking. This is actually past Lisa when you're watching this video. I haven't actually done my weigh-in and my weekly video yet, but I already know I need to talk about exercise because that is the thing that I am struggling with this week. So I thought I'd pop on here and give you guys a couple of tips on how to fit in exercise throughout the week to hit those daily goals. So for me, it is the one thing that is just not automatic. I do work from home most of the time, and I thought working from home, it would actually be easier to fit in movement throughout the day, but it's not. When you're in an office, you go visit people, you go actually out on breaks. I used to go, I worked near a park, so I would go walk around the park, things like that. Now that I'm home, you just sort of get on a roll, and next thing you know, it's been 5 or 6 hours and I've just been sitting there the entire time. So it's actually been a little bit more difficult since I've been home. So what I've done is my tip number 1, which is set a timer on your phone to get up. So I have a timer set for every 2 hours throughout my workday on my phone. And every time it goes off, I do just stop what I'm doing and get up and just walk around. And that's really helping just to get in a few more steps. It's not going to give me thousands and thousands of steps, of course, but just that little bit of movement is helping. The other thing that I'm doing too, which is my tip number 2, is use your stairs. If you have stairs, whether that's even just a couple of stairs up and down, maybe in the front of your house or something. I actually have a basement, so I have a full flight of stairs. So I thought I'd take you up and down the stairs with me and just sort of show you what I'm doing throughout the day. Just this simple. I am just going up and down, literally don't even have any shoes on, but just kind of to get a little bit more movement in throughout the day. The other thing I've been doing here at the bottom is I've been doing some squats, just a couple, and it's just that little bit of extra that I'm trying to do. And I've also been doing butt kickers, which is just sort of, kicking your feet up behind you, which I found was really good for my quads. Because I don't know about you, I sit all day at my desk, of course, and my quads get really tight. So you can tell I already did the stairs before I started filming and then realized I should be filming. So forgive me for already being out of breath. But yeah, I'm just trying to kind of fit that in however I can. So that's my tip number 2, is just whatever stairs you have, use them because it makes a big difference. The other tip I have for you is I'm leaving my shoes with socks sitting on my treadmill so that when I come down, I don't have to even think about it. I can just throw on my shoes and jump on my treadmill. And that's helping too, just to have everything prepped, ready to go. I feel like that's the key, is just kind of, that ounce of preparation really is making a big difference in just doing it. Making the time, I want to say, having the time, but really it's making the time to go for those walks every single day. It did take extra effort. I had to actually make a point to, go walk on the treadmill, or I wasn't able to walk outside this week because we've been frigid where I live, but it was taking that extra effort, and I couldn't just kind of sneak that in. Vacuuming and going to the grocery store and that kind of stuff doesn't get me there, so I did actually have to put the effort in, and that was actually harder to make myself realize, okay, it's not going to really take me that long to hit that 4,000. Some days it was only 15 minutes and I was there, but it was just taking that extra effort to do it. And then of course, once I'm on and I've been walking for 15 minutes, I typically will stay on and finish watching whatever show I'm watching, or, or else I'll get motivated by one of the numbers on the treadmill. So it'll say, you've burned, 47 calories. Well, I'm hitting 50, I can't leave it at 47. So things like that, little stupid mind tricks that we play with ourselves. But those little things like that kind of keep you going and keep you walking. And so, once I got on, I always did more than what I actually needed, which was great. So I was surprised though that just getting myself to do that was harder than, getting myself to drink my water, which I should do now. I'm almost there for the day. My meal plan this week includes one of my favorite breakfasts, which is taking some hash browns. And I usually do anywhere from a half a cup to a cup, depending how hungry I am. I'll do 2 eggs, and then I like to do 40 grams of avocado. I love avocado, and I find that getting that healthy fat in keeps me fuller longer. So that's going to be my kind of breakfast ingredients. And with that, and I almost forgot the important part. I bought turkey bacon, which I'm excited about too. My family all hates it, so they leave it, and I actually get to have it because if we have real bacon in this house, it's gone in a day. So I'll get to have a slice of turkey bacon every day too. And there's a couple ways you can actually fix it. So my favorite is to actually do it in a waffle maker. So you can take one of the eggs and mix it in with the hash browns and a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning. If you have never tried that, definitely do. It's so good. So mix that in, and you make it like it's a waffle. It'll cook up like a waffle, which is amazing. And then I just do an egg on the side, and it feels like this huge breakfast, and it's not, calorically it's really not, but it's delicious and it feels like a lot of food. I can always do, of course, just, hash browns with, the 2 eggs. If I want to reduce the hash browns, I can put it in a wrap too. So I can do, the bacon with egg and just a little bit of hash browns, maybe a 1/4 cup of hash browns, and do it in a wrap instead. That's delicious with avocado, if I didn't say that. So, there's a lot of different ways I can kind of switch that up. So again, I don't get bored with my food. And that's what I like to do. I like to do kind of some basic ingredients and then try and think of creative different ways that I can make it to, to make it more interesting and kind of be able to do what you feel like that day. So there might be a day when, I'm absolutely starving and I want to see that great big bulk of food on my plate. And there might be days when I'm like, I really don't even feel like making anything. I can just cook up just the hash browns and, an egg or 2 and call it good. So for lunches this week, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever done this? I knew I needed tuna in this house, and over the course of the last probably 3 weeks, I've gone to Costco, I've gone to the grocery store, I've done grocery pickup at Walmart, and apparently every single time I remembered that I needed tuna. So I have a ton of tuna in this house. So that's what I'm doing for lunches. This one is, let's see, from Food Club. I'm not even sure where that's from. Could have been Safeway, probably one of my grocery trips. But this entire can is a 5-ounce can, and it's 100 calories for the whole can. So that's what I'm gonna do each day for lunch, because I have plenty, trust me. I'm gonna take a whole can, and I'm gonna add just a tablespoon of light mayo and a tablespoon of non-fat Greek yogurt. And I like celery in my tuna, so I'm gonna chop up just a little bit of celery, a little bit of pickles chopped up in there, and mix that all together. And then I bought butter lettuce, which is one of my favorite lettuces. It's just crispy and crunchy and so good. So I'll stuff that into those shells, and that'll be my lunch, along with a slice of I love the Sara Lee, and I'm sorry it's almost gone because, well, we've been eating it, but the Sara Lee 45 calorie bread. If there's a day that I'm super hungry, I might have 2 slices and just do a regular, tuna sandwich instead, something like that. But it's just a couple different ways that I can switch it up. I can also do it on a regular bed of greens and do just a great big scoop of the tuna salad on top of that, and it kind of acts like dressing. You can eat it that way too. So again, just a few different options on ways to eat that tuna. So that's what I'm going to do for lunches. For snacks, I have a couple different ideas. So I actually really enjoyed that the piece of fruit with a little hunk of cheese. That was so good last week. So I might have that some days if I feel like it. But the other thing I have too is I made up some banana breads. And if you don't own this, then I can't relate, because everyone I know has this cookbook in their kitchen, including my kids have it in their hope chest already. But they're just basic banana bread recipe right out of here. I made that into 18 cupcakes. So I think it's meant to serve 12. So I did 18 cupcakes just to kind of bring the calorie count down just a tiny bit. But that's what I made up, and I have those in the freezer right now because I had bananas that were going bad, so I had to do something with them. So I made those up so I can have those for a snack too, so I can have a little, muffin instead, if that sounds good. And then for dinners, again, just like before I mentioned, I will do whatever my family's doing for dinner. I just need to tweak it so it fits in with that calorie count. So if I had, maybe just the hash browns and eggs for breakfast and the lettuce wraps for lunch, I'll have a lot more calories left for dinner. But on a day that maybe I, had a full sandwich for lunch, something like that, I'll have to probably bulk it up a little more with vegetables for dinner. So maybe do a bunch of roasted veggies and just a little bit of, whatever protein or whatever it is that my family's doing. My daughter made me some cinnamon rolls when she was home from college, so they're in the freezer. And what she did is, those of you who have done Weight Watchers know the 2-ingredient dough. So she took 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, mix those together with a little bit of Truvia or whatever your favorite sweetener is. You can do Splenda, whatever. And then she kneads it until it's nice and smooth, and then rolls it out, and then she puts some Splenda brown sugar and then some cinnamon inside, rolls it up, cuts it into 12 pieces, and then bakes it. And they are a smaller serving size. I mean, they're not a giant cinnamon roll. They're small, but they are so good. And it really just sort of hits that sweet. At night, it's so nice to have those with just a hot cup of tea. It's delicious, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of that comfort food too. So I absolutely love those. So yeah, that's this week's plan. So please leave me in the comments below anything that you're struggling with, or any kind of tips or tricks that you'd like to learn. I've been on just about every diet, and there are good things that you take away from each of them, So, for instance, I was on Weight Watchers years and years and years ago. So I have some of those kinds of tips of different recipes that I did when I was on Weight Watchers, or, just different plans that I've been on. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, or if you're trying to find a way to lighten any certain meal, leave it in the comments below, and I can see what I can find for you and maybe incorporate it too. And again, thank you so much for those of you who reached out with different product ideas or things that you enjoy. I so appreciate that, and keep those coming. Put them in the comments below too if you have any ideas for me on things I should try. And maybe I'll do a video on taste testing things. So keep those coming. And I wish you great success this week with whatever your goals are, whether that's weight loss or something else. Just one day at a time, stick with it, and we'll get it done together. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like and subscribe this video, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. See, just that, and I'm out of breath. Those with like a hot...